Hello and welcome to a new episode of our program Cultural Magazine, during which we're going to bring you the latest cultural events that are taking place in Egypt.
The Rida Folk Arts Troupe performs a new show at the Ghoury Creative Center Dome in Al-Azhar Street. The Ghoury Dome is affiliated to the Cultural Development Fund sector, which hold the new performance in cooperation with the Technical House of Folk and Performing Arts. The troupe presented a group of some of the famous folk dances, such as Halawat Shamsina, The Glow of Our Sun, Luxor Baladna or Luxor Our Town, Gharib al-Dar, Stranger in the House, Iskandarani, Nubia, as well as some of the troupe's other works. It is noteworthy that the troupe was founded in 1959 and presented its first performances at the Azbekiyya Theater in August of the same year. Its members at its founding were 26 dancers, with half of them girls and the other half were young men, along with 13 musicians, until the number has now reached 180. Its dances were designed by the great artist and choreographer Mahmoud Rida, which were inspired by the arts of the countryside, the coasts, Upper Egypt, and Nubia, with the participation of the first troupe's dancer Farida Fahmi. Soon, the troupe became affiliated with the Ministry of Culture in 1961 and was managed by the two brothers Mahmoud and Ali Rida. The musician Ali Ismail created a folklore orchestra to accompany the troupe and composed a large number of most of its performances. The troupe presented its shows in different countries of the world and succeeded in achieving the first place in most forums and festivals, as well as international events where they represented Egypt. Star of the marimba instrument artist Nisma Abdelaziz and her band are performing a new concert at the Cairo Opera House on the open-air theater stage. Nisma Abdelaziz has organized a distinguished artistic program that includes a group of the most famous Arab and Western compositions that have been reformulated to suit the marimba instrument. songs include Marimba Fusion, Tiku Tiku, Despacito, Victory, Sahar al-Layali, and Sawah, as well as many others. It is worth mentioning that Nisma Abdelaziz began her musical studies at the Cairo Conservatoire at an early age and specialized in playing percussion instruments. She presented many successful concerts at various opera theaters. Audiences and critics nicknamed her as the Princess of Percussions for her skill in playing all percussion instruments. Under the patronage of the Minister of Culture, Dr. Inas Abdidaim, and the Chairman of the Board of Directors of the General Authority for Cultural Palaces, Hisham Atwa, the activities of the first edition of the Farafra Forum for Painting and Drawing were recently launched with the participation of a group of artists. The General Authority for Cultural Palaces aims to discover new and diverse environments in order to visually document artistic vocabulary and elements, along with discovering spontaneous talents and artists in the areas visited and involving them in the Egyptian plastic movement. Artist Mahmoud al-Maghrabi, commissioner of the forum, said that most of the documentation trips to discover Farafra beginning in the 19th century were primarily geological, topographic, and archaeological. From the book 3 Months in the Libyan Desert, 2 years after the beginning of his journey to Farafra, the book revealed a spacious cave of distilled stone with wonderful natural stalks near the Gara, which is the important site to visit in Farafra. Through this event, we can visually monitor everything we have read about the nature of the surface, the caves, and the private social life of the inhabitants of the area in a caravan that performs an exceptional coexistence experience. Participants in the Farafra Forum are artists Badawi Mabrouk, Hanafi Mahmoud, Dua Fakhr, Mahmoud al-Maghrabi, as well as many more.
The Cairo Opera House plays a significant role in the cultural movement that is taking place in Egypt.
Opera Ballet Company represented the Bakhchisarai Fountain Ballet on the Grand Theatre at the Cairo Opera House, where the dramatic plot showed the feelings of love and jealousy of a love story that glowed in a flawless, powerful performance.
I am very proud to be part of the Opera House because it's an example for every country how the two different type of music and two different type of tradition can match artistically. You know, we have Swan Lake, we have Arabic music, we have operas, we have symphonic, and everything is done in the best level. So really, this is an example of the mixing, the melting of culture. And I see that the opera since already more than 30 years is growing in this intent of matching all the culture. So I am very proud to be part of the Opera House because it's an example for every country how the two different type of music and two different type of tradition can match artistically. You know, we have Swan Lake, we have Arabic music, we have operas, we have symphonic, and everything is done in the best level. So really, this is an example of the mixing, the melting of culture. And I see that the opera since already more than 30 years is growing in this intent of matching all the culture.
We repeat a ballet. This ballet is one of our story of classical ballet in Egypt because this is the first ballet, full ballet. It's performing all the opera. And now since I was studying academy, they was always our teachers, our doctors. They speak about this ballet, and they speak about my role, how it's a great role, rich role. You understand? I was dream all my years to make this role before I stop ballet, and thank God comes this moment to show my role, King Gray. In Fountain Bakhchisarai in this ballet. I prepared this ballet for 1 month and a half. Of course, before I was watching a lot of different versions of different choreographer to find which role, which way I will take it, and I will put my experience to make little bit something new for our audience. It's first time in my life I go on a stage without hair, and I try to make different things for stuff of makeups or how my looks out to our audience. And I'm so happy to make this role with Cairo Opera House, and I think it will make some new project for Cairo Opera House for our audience to enjoy the classical ballet and the history of Fantan of Bakshi Sarai. It's a big different things because he looks like little bit bad guy, but his heart is always soft. He searched for not only for when new cities, new capitals, because I'm one of king of Tatar, but I also was looking for love, and I found this love in Poland Palace. When I go in one attack, I go there and I found the princess Maria, and I started to fall in love with her. And she was little bit afraid from me because I killed her father and her love. That's why it's how to explain for her how I love. Was so hard, but of course, of my experience since 29 years on stage of Cairo Opera House, I get a lot of good experience to make this in dramatic way, and to show for our audience how can be bad guy have good heart. This is big. Each role is a little bit different because for the history and for timing of each performance you must follow the history steps, history way of dance. I can show in every performance the same feeling and the same steps, but it's important to share the reality of each personality, because different characters is so hard to show for different timing. You understand that why this is a little bit since so long time ago. It's before Spartacus, before Zorba. That why I must be also aggressive. I must be also fighter. I must be also love. How to show your love for each character. They have a lot of skills. These skills I found to be a reality for each seat or each situations. Different situations make for you a big experience how to show your way with step, with dancing, with music, with acting, with different. And this time I make 3 performances or 4. I work with 2 casts, 2 different casts. That's why each personal or each ballerina I dance with her, she have little bit different attitude. That's why I look to following her attitude and also to take her in my way how I show my movement on stage.
It's very exciting, first of all, because, well, it's since a lot of time that we didn't do this, and for me, I'm young, and this is only in Russia that they does this, and for me, it's a nice experience. First of all, working with Valentin as a choreography, and also it's the first time that I dance for Cairo Opera House, and it's amazing. Yeah, it's a nice experience. In the harem, they does this. In the ancient past, they done this a lot. Like the girl were killing each other for being the side of the king, no? And yeah, it's tragic. It's really dramatic action. This is like an expensive in our curriculum, no? Like having new experience, new style of ballet. Also for me, because I'm a trainee French, and this is completely new. Like, they have a lot of experience and also character. Then when they does this on stage, it's amazing to see how they react and how they act in this. It's amazing, yeah.
The story of this glowing ballet gathered many contradictory human feelings where dancers reincarnated the characters in a very professional way, which made the audience merge deeply with the smooth performance. Shuruq Bikir, Cultural Magazine.
The Egyptian state is always keen on honoring its icons and artists.
Under the patronage of the Minister of Culture, Dr. Ines Abdeldaim, the Cairo Opera House, headed by Dr. Magdi Sober, continues to implement a plan to commemorate the symbols of arts, singing, and music. The Opera House organizes a celebration on the occasion of the centenary of the artist Karim Mahmoud, which is revived by the Abdel Halim Nouira singing troupe for Arab music led by Maestro Ahmed Amer. The program includes a group of works of the late musician and singer, which are prominent signs in the history of Arab music, including songs like Glories for the Arab, O Samra, and The Prophet, O Beautiful, and various works of the music of Karim Mahmoud, prepared by Muhammad Abdel Wadoud, performed by Ibrahim Rashid, and many others. It is noteworthy that Karim Mahmoud, one of the prominent figures of Arab music, was born in 1922 in Damanhur. He obtained a diploma from the Fuad, the first Institute for Arab Music, in 1945. Karim Mahmoud enjoyed a distinguished opera voice. He is considered the first to revive musical theater and restore the art of radio operettas after the legendary Sayyid Darwish. He composed 180 songs and sang 281 other tunes for a group of famous poets. Karim Mahmoud also participated in starring in a number of films, including dozens of Handkerchiefs, The Honorable One, Good News, The Light of My Eye, as well as a number of other films. He passed away on January 15, 1995.
Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, Cultural Magazine. I hope you've enjoyed being with me. Please wait for me in the next episode. Until then, it's goodbye.